What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City match review, match reaction and match analysis as Manchester City end that 4-game barren run of not winning a Premier League game by beating Luton Town in what was hard work at Kenilworth Road, but nonetheless a fantastic comeback victory for Manchester City, as we'll digest all the talking points from this game. So do make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, please do subscribe to the channel. It is free. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description if you want to go and check out my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think Man City can improve on heading into next weekend's game against Crystal Palace? Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. So, we'll start off with the biggest talking point from the teams, and that's the absence of Erling Haaland, where there was rumours going round over the last 24 hours or so of Erling Haaland being rested, and it's been confirmed since then that Erling Haaland has a foot injury that Manchester City are keeping an eye on and assessing on a game-by-game situation. We have a match in the Champions League midweek, dead rubber for Manchester City away in Belgrade. Erling Haaland doesn't need to travel or be in the squad for that, so I'd let him have a full rest and assess again from the match against Crystal Palace. Will he be available for that? I do not know. So Manchester City just had to slightly adapt their play in this game, and first half I found very interesting. More freedom, particularly offensively, had been given to Josko Gvardiol because of that, and Gvardiol was getting into some good positions. I thought Gvardiol had a very good first half for Manchester City. He was getting forward. It was allowing Jack Grealish to cut more into the centre. He was joining Phil Foden. It was allowing Bernardo Silva to head onto the right wing, and you're seeing Bernardo centralising himself as well. There was, I felt, quite a bit of creativity from Manchester City in midfield, which was obviously a big problem that we had against Aston Villa, where it just wasn't there. And Manchester City managed to accumulate themselves 2 or 3 really good opportunities that they didn't put into the back of the net because they weren't being clinical, which maybe you feel that because of the absence of Erling Haaland. I don't know. Erling Haaland has been getting criticised by some for missing some opportunities that you'd probably expect Erling Haaland to put away, but that's okay. You know, we're not a one-player team. You don't win the amount of trophies that Manchester City have managed to accumulate under Pep Guardiola through being a one-player team. You have to work hard as a team, and if you've not got that player available, you've got to adapt yourselves around it and work hard from there. So I thought as a whole from that first half, apart from being clinical, I was happy with how Manchester City had played, and because of that, even though we went behind right before half-time with a wonderful worked goal by Luton Town, it was brilliant play from Barkley, it was a good ball into the box from Townsend, and it was a good header as well from Adebayo as well, beating Ruben Dias, who I thought should have been stronger. He wasn't. It was a good header. I just thought it was a well-worked goal from Luton right on half-time as well. It's the perfect time for them to grab that goal, as it just changes Manchester City's team talk, and it led to Manchester City coming out in the second half needing a response. It was no longer a game where we be patient and look for that opening goal. We needed to go and force the issue, and I didn't really see that first 15 minutes from Manchester City. It was only on the hour mark, and it was going to take, I thought, for Luton to either do a mistake at the back or Manchester City just have something fall their way with a bit of luck or something world class to separate Manchester City, to allow them to get that goal and put Luton under pressure, and thankfully it did come. It came after 62 minutes through Bernardo Silva. You saw Rodri burst forward with a powering run, and it just falls very nicely to Bernardo Silva. He can use that run from Rodri and the bend of the defender just to wrap it round him and put it into the back of the net. And finally, we saw Kaminski concede a goal after he was putting in a phenomenal performance. I was impressed with quite a few players, I thought, today for Luton Town, who I thought did themselves tremendous credit, because they don't have the budget readily available to a lot of other Premier League teams. They don't have big flashy names around their team sheet. They are a team that work really hard, a team that are difficult to beat, a team that are very physical, a team quite frankly, when you're on a 4-game streak of not winning in the Premier League and you must win this game to get back into a title race away from home, it's a game we really could do without. Going 1-0 behind, kudos Manchester City for showing the bottle, for showing the bravery and showing the willpower and the resilience to come back and win this game. And I think Luton had just let their heads drop ever so slightly, and I think that's what helped Manchester City here with that second goal. London buses, you wait 62 minutes for your first, and then 2 come along at once, and City have to wait less than 3 minutes. It's Jack Grealish, right place, right time. With Doku injured, he'd just come back from a 5 yellow card suspension for Manchester City. I'm really pleased with Jack Grealish scoring against Tottenham Hotspur, grabbing a goal here as well. I didn't think he had a bad game, and dare I suggest maybe Jack Grealish now just starting to find his mojo back for Manchester City, and hopefully he can really kick on, because he'll be a real useful asset for Manchester City in what is a very important little phase of the season. These next 3 Premier League games: Crystal Palace at home, Everton away, Sheffield United at home, our next 3 Premier League games before the turn of the new year. So these are massive games that Manchester City must win, and Manchester City defensively resilient. We conceded that 1 goal. I was disappointed with the defending, but we managed to persevere that second half, and I think it's so important that you have that confidence. The defence has that confidence that they know that they can see the game out. You don't have to keep grabbing killer second goals. Sometimes it's enough to grab the lead. We surrendered it against Chelsea, I think it was 3 times. Surrendered it against Liverpool. Surrendered it twice, I think, against Spurs as well. So this will do the team a lot of confidence, and hopefully now we can really push on. And I'm a little bit torn about what to do in our match against Vejna Zvezda midweek. I want us to do a full rotation because we've worked hard to get ourselves into that situation, but we've dropped points in the Premier League. Our confidence has gone down. That I'd quite like to go with a semi-strong team against Vejna Zvezda to try and win that game, just to gather up more momentum. We didn't play particularly well against RB Leipzig in our last Champions League game at home. We had enough to get the job done to win that game and finish first in the Champions League. Even that was a game that we went behind in, when we do have a habit of going behind. So I'd like us to really just take some confidence away and try and build up a little bit of momentum, because winning breeds winning in football, and we know that. We've seen that. That can be the difference between winning and losing a Premier League title. So it's important now that City are back to winning ways, try and keep that momentum going heading into a big match against Crystal Palace next weekend. And I've not even got round to talking about the Club World Cup sandwiched in between all this as well. So it's a very busy December for Manchester City. The only other real talking point from this game, I want to talk about the official. I mentioned it quite a bit in my live stream. I think the officiating at times in this game wasn't great, but I want to be fair. There were points in this game where I thought the referee made some really good decisions. In particular, something that's been teething away at me over the last few weeks, in particular since that Spurs game, is the ability to play the advantage, and it was refereed from the advantage point of view, I thought, very well from the referee, stopping the game when the game needed to be stopped, playing the advantage, looking for the advantage, and always keeping an eye on it. So I reckon the Premier League's probably had word with the referees to make sure that doesn't happen again and get sorted, and I thought it was pretty good in this game. So that's a big bonus, a big plus for me. However, potential red card check from VAR, both feet off the ground. He wasn't diving in, which I think helps the case here of the Luton player, but both feet are off the ground. He does make contact with Phil Foden, and I think we have inconsistencies here with officiating. Referee deems that not a free kick. He doesn't give anything, so the player with both feet off the ground, not only does he not get carded in what could be potentially be a red card, he doesn't even commit a foul in the legal side of the law. But potentially that could have been a red card, and I think another referee and another person in charge of VAR on another day could easily have given a red card, and that's where you have these subjective inabilities from the referee, and you have these differences in opinion that's always going to happen. But a difficult one for the referee. It's not easy to be a referee. It really isn't easy. It's not a job I'd like to do, put it that way. But those other aspects, the foul throw in the 2-minute build up to Luton's goal when there was nothing wrong with the throw in, referee I thought caved into home pressure because of one foul throw that went amiss, and he felt like he had to keep an eye on all the throw-ins then and giving things that were foul throws that weren't, that could potentially have had a detrimental effect for Manchester City. But as a whole, I don't think there's anything else really left for controversies from this game. I thought Luton's goal was legit. Both of Manchester City's goals were legit. We played a good game. Stats don't lie. City 18 shots, 6 on target, dominated the game, 66% possession. We win the game. It's job done from my point of view, and we move on from there. And I think it's really important to remember now that we've gone from 30 points to 33 points. I've filmed this before Spurs have played, so I don't know what pressure is going to be looking like from 5th downwards. But we do know that Manchester City now, we don't want to be looking down. We want to be looking up and looking at the other teams. We're 2 points behind Villa, 1 point behind Arsenal. 3 points behind Arsenal and 4 points behind Liverpool as well. And remember, next weekend, Manchester City, we play on Saturday. Villa, Arsenal, Liverpool, they're all playing on Sunday. Psychological, Man City win that game against Crystal Palace, which is again another must-win game. We've got a better goal difference than Arsenal, so we'll leapfrog Villa, we'll leapfrog Arsenal before they've even kicked the football if we beat Crystal Palace, and automatically we'll be second and only a point behind Liverpool. And there's a big game next weekend as well in the Premier League on Sunday. Liverpool taking on Manchester United at Anfield. Arsenal have got a difficult home game against Brighton, and Villa have got a difficult away game against Brentford, which I think is crucial. It's away from home, becomes even more difficult. So I think I've got a lot to take away from this game. I'm very positive. I think we need to use the momentum now going forward, and we need to apply ourselves. It's important. We pick up the win, great. We need to follow it up with another win now. Crystal Palace at home, all expectation on Manchester City, none on Crystal Palace. Has its own dangers, so Manchester City now can turn their heads towards that. A bit of rest, a bit of recovery time for them. Obviously, we've got the match midweek where there'll be a lot of rotation against Zvezda. Zvezda. We can chill out for that game with no expectation. It'd be great to win and get the momentum, but all in all, I thought a good performance from Manchester City and a great show of resilience to get the job done, to come from behind and win this game in what is not an easy place to go to at Kenilworth Road, where they love big scouts. Taking a point off Liverpool, nearly took a point off Arsenal midweek, and kept it to within a goal and took the lead against the Premier League champions in Manchester City as well. So my respect for Luton goes up, but Manchester City dig deep and get a much needed 3 points, which means I'm a happy Manchester City fan. I'm a happy JSGC, and I'm sure you guys watching at home are happy with that as well. So do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. 100 likes is the aim. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and check out my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries, and I'll see you all again real soon for the next Manchester City video. So I've been JSGC, thank you everyone for watching, I hope everyone is safe and well, peace, ciao for now.